Pandas, why do we use pandas? Any idea? Okay, so see, we have seen list, we have seen integer float where you store one value. Then we saw list tuple dictionary where you store multiple values, still one dimensional. Then we went and we saw two dimensional NumPy, correct? Where you have a matrix kind of thing. Now we're talking about pandas where we can save data in terms of table. Okay, so when you read the data, okay, now we are getting slowly into machine learning. When you have to read a lot of data, right? Data will be in table Excel format or CSV format or database format. It will be in row and column format. So pandas is a data type, a data structure in Python, which helps us to read data in table format. Okay, so what we'll do is first we'll create a simple data, okay, and then we will read it as using pandas. Okay, so panda is the library. Okay, it is the library just like NumPy library, and we will use the data type. Okay, is called data frame. Okay, so you create data frame using pandas library. Okay, so let's create a dummy data and then we will read it as pandas. So I'm going to create data equal to let's do a simple one. Okay, so let's get a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a list. Now I have to convert it into data frame. So to convert it into data frame, I have to import pandas. So import pandas as PD. Okay, I'm giving it an alias just like NumPy as NP. So now I'm going to say data. Generally I write this way. Okay, data underscore df. Df stands for data frame. So when you see variable name df, you know that okay, this is where you're going to create a data frame. Okay, just to differentiate between normal variable and data frame variable. So data df equal to pd dot data frame. PD dot data frame, and I'll say data here. Now you print the data frame. SciPy is in progress. It is pandas is getting imported, pandas is getting added. Okay, now you see here. Okay, you see this? I gave only one value. So what it has done is converted into table format. How many rows, how many columns it has? Table will have row and column, isn't it? How many rows we have and how many columns we have? So this is a table, okay?
One is 5 rows and the other is 6.
This is a table with 5 rows, okay, and 1 column. We see by default what it does is every row will have an index. Every row will have an index or the number, okay? So number here is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every column will have a number default. Now, either you give name from your side. If you don't give name from your side, pandas will add a 0. Number itself.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, how will you know which row I'm talking about, which column I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. You will not know which row, which column. So that's why it will add these values. Okay. So we have 1 row, 1 column. Now you can have 2 rows, 2 columns. Okay. So when you add 1 extra column, okay, list, let's add another list here like this. Okay, and let's say I add 1 more value, name 1, say Rohit. Okay, 2, let's say Pant. Let's say Surya. Let's say Rama. Okay, let's say Kohli. Okay. Okay, now you see what we did. We created 2 columns. And the multiple ways we'll see. Okay, today also we'll see. Tomorrow also we'll talk about, not tomorrow, Tuesday when we meet, we'll continue working with pandas. Okay. There are multiple ways of doing that. Now, okay, so this is so this is, we can create multiple columns, right? Okay, now, sir. Column names are called as columns, and the row names are called as index. Okay, so index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Columns are 0 and 1. Let's say I want to give column names to it. Okay, so I told you columns are called columns. Rows are called index. Column names are called columns. So data, comma, columns equal to. Okay, and this also has to be a list. So I have 2 columns here, right? So I'm going to say position, comma, say player. Okay, now I see it added position and player as a column name. Index, you want to add some index. Generally, we don't add index because columns, rows will be many, right? So it is difficult to add many indexes, but you can add indexes also. Okay, so let's say I'll call it as first, second. Okay, what happens if I run it? Okay, length of values 5 does not match length of index 2, right? I have to give exact 5 here. So length of values are 5, but we have given only 2 indexes, right? So third, fourth, fifth. Now we have 5. You see, we are named that index that we generally we don't use indexes, right? Because we'll have thousands of rows, right? But of course, column names are important. Otherwise, how will you distinguish which column you're talking about? But you can give column names and row names to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We can create, last topic, okay, we can create data frame from dictionary as well. So dictionary, okay, let's just talk about fruit production. We call it as fruit production. So I'm going to create data, which is a dictionary. Key is say month, okay, or let's say apple, okay, and production for first month is 100, second month is 200, third month is 150, then you have 250. Okay, 4 months, okay, comma, oranges. Okay, 4 values. First month is 250, second month was 200, then 300, then 200. Let's say mangoes. First month produced was 150, second month was 700, 800, and let's say 50. Okay, so this is a dictionary with keys as apples, oranges, mangoes, and values as a list, right? Now I'll convert this into, so I'm going to say data underscore df equal to pd dot data frame. You can convert multiple types of values into data frame. But tomorrow when we start working, right, we will read from table. We'll see how to read from CSV, read it and perform different operations. Okay, pd dot data frame, and you give data here. Print data, and when you run it, so see, apples, oranges, mangoes became columns, and you have these values here by default indexes. Now, if you want, you can say indexes, right? No, sorry, I'm doing print. Okay, index equal to, let's say this is for month or quarter 1, 2021, quarter 2, 2021. First quarter is for the production, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Right? So this is how you can create data using various formats. Okay. So we'll end it here today. Tomorrow we'll see how to read data from CSV file. We'll have multiple data sets. We'll read. Okay, we perform different operations on pandas. We'll plot different graphs. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So for pandas, we have seen that we are reading pandas as a table, right?
Yeah. Data frame.
So I have a data set called as here. Okay. So see, I have this account on GitHub and we'll be using the data set from GitHub only. Okay. GitHub.com software server. Okay. This is the link. GitHub.com/software server. Okay. And there are a lot of data sets here. You can use them. Okay. This one is in data set. Okay. This is data set. Okay. And there's so many data sets here. We'll take for hotel booking. Okay. This is the data. Now, data is too big. You know, it is few MBs. Okay. So you cannot see it here. You have to click on raw view. See, anyway, if you have to download the CSV file, we are going to read. We are not going to download it. Okay. You directly connect to CSV and read it. Okay. So always click on this raw view. If you click on raw view, okay, so see, this is each row. First row is ID. Second is hotel. Is cancel. Yes, no, right? Lead time. Arrival time, year. Arrival date, month. So when okay, this is data of a hotel. Okay, and for every transaction they have an ID. Every transaction have an ID. The first name is talking about whether it's a resort or hotel. So, hotel is resort hotel. The name is resort hotel, let's say. Is cancelled. Booking was cancelled or yes or no. So 0 means always false, no. So is cancelled, no. 1 is cancelled, true. Because question is cancelled, right? So is cancelled, no means not cancelled. Came. Lead time. Lead time is how many days before arrival date the booking was done. Okay, so here if you see 342. 342 is before they had created this. 737. And you have 7, 3, 14, 14, 0. 0 means same day arrival. Then you have next the year of arrival. Okay, month of arrival and date of arrival. This is the column. Okay, so we have so many columns. Okay, many columns we have. Okay, let's read this data. So using pandas, you can read online data directly. You don't have to download it. Okay, so I'm going to read this CSV file. I've copied this link. Remember, when you are on GitHub, you should always do the raw data view. Otherwise, if you don't do raw data, right? If I'm trying to read, let's say, this page, then all these things will also be read. Okay, issues, pull requests, all these things will be read. We don't want all these things. We want only pure data. See, the size is 16 MB. That's why it's not able to show you the preview. Otherwise, if you use a shorter, smaller data set, you can actually see output here only. So click on view raw. Always get the raw view. Okay. So I'm going to get the raw view from here. Now I'm going to my Python here and I'm saying import Pandas as PD and I'm giving the link, okay, from where I'm downloading this file. Okay. Now to read it, we have read CSV function in Pandas. Okay. So PD dot read CSV. Okay. This will read the data set here. Oops. I shouldn't have said quotation because I have given the name, right? So read link. Now PD will read the entire data from the website, GitHub. Okay. So if you want to see, okay, I'll give it a name. Okay, I'm going to say hotel DF, something like that. Okay, now when you say print hotel DF, it will take some time because 16 MB, that too on internet, right? It is connected to internet, getting the data. First time it will take time. Okay, when you're running second time, it will not take so much of time. But first time it will take time. Okay, so see, so it has read the data from here. See this? So this is the ID, hotel, the column names, revenue status, reservation status, date. Okay, these are the columns, and these are your rows. So rows automatically has added 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as index for the rows. Okay. Now it will not show you all the columns because we have 20 columns. Not possible to see all the 20 columns. So it will do first 2 and last 2. Okay, similarly, if you see here, first 5 and last 5. Okay. Because we have so many values, right? So it's not possible to show all the rows. So it will show you last 5. So see, it says it has how many rows are there? This data has?
Yeah, 119390 rows.
1,19,000.
Yeah.
Right? 1,19,000 or 190K. Yeah. And it has how many columns?
33.
33 columns it has. Okay. So we have read this data. Now with hotel DF, what happened is entire data is in your data frame. Okay, we don't have to connect. Okay, this is Python, so we have to every time running from line number 1, so it will read. But your data frame has the data now. So now whatever operation we perform on data frame, hotel DF. Okay, so what is the first operation? Okay, so shape, print, shape. Shape is not a function. I'm going to say hotel DF dot
shape.
Shape. It will give us the shape of the data frame. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Shape means how many rows and how many columns. You see, it says shape is 190, 330 and 33, right? Let me not print it, okay? So if you read a data set and you want to know how many rows and columns it has, you can say dot shape. Now, what is the output of dot shape? What kind of data type you get as output?
Data frame. A tuple, sir.
Tuple, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a simple bracket. So you get a tuple, right? So if I need to know only rows, print total rows. So what I'll do, I'll say df shape equal to hotel df dot shape. Okay, and here you can say df shape and here you can say what do I get the total rows from here?
DF shape of 0.
0. You give us rows, right? And what will give us column. So if you want just one value, you have to read the tuple, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Total rows. Okay. Now you want to know the data types. See, when you upload the values, right? When you read from CSV or when you upload from Excel to Pandas, right? So Pandas will use two data types. One is numeric, other is string. If a column has all numbers, if a column has all numbers or blank is fine. But if it has all numbers, automatically it will read as numeric. Okay, integer or float. Okay, integer or float. But if the column has even one character, okay, then it will read it as string. So if I print here, data types, hotel df dot data types. Three types. So you see, each of the 33 values, okay, 33 columns is given us the data. So ID is int, hotel is object means string. Okay, is cancel float. Okay, so it has automatically read based on the value of the column. It has automatically read. Now you see here, if you want to read something as date, for example, I don't think date is here, but let's say if you read a date, so then what is the default type that it will read date as?
Current date.
Oh, what is the data type of date that it will read? I told you it will read only as integer, float, or string. So what do you think the date will be read as? String. Date will be read as string. So then you have to convert that into date time. Convert it into date time. Okay, later we'll see. Okay, we have a lot of data files to work with, so we'll do that later. So data types will tell us the data type of each column. It will either be, not either, it will be one of these, like that, your integer, float, or object. Object is string basically. Okay. Okay, so okay. I want to see the, okay, I'm going to say print hotel df hotel. Hotel is the column name. So index, how do you do the index? Square bracket.
Square brackets, yes.
Square bracket index, and I'm typing a column. So it gave me the values, first 5 and last 5. You see that? Okay. Now, okay. Now,
Sir, what about tail or head? Tail dotted or head dot?
Give us top 5, last 5 tail. We'll do that. Okay. We still have to do pandas. We haven't done to operation pandas. Okay. So I just want to introduce you to the graph matplotlib. Okay. Then we'll come back and we'll work on data frame. Okay, Karthik? Okay. So we'll do that. You can even select head of 10. Head of 10 will give us top 10 rows. Okay. But let's focus on matplotlib, then we'll go to data frame. Okay. So this is how you get values. Now I want to filter the numeric columns. Now see, when you are talking about mathematics, okay, when we talk about data science, right? Data science algorithms can work only on numeric columns. It cannot work on
Strings.
Text, again, you have to use NLP kind of application. We'll do one example NLP also. So for text, you have to use NLP. Okay. You can't use
Data science.
That is also data science. I mean to say the algorithm which is meant to work on numbers.
Okay.
Okay. You can't use that is meant to work with numbers. So what happens in these cases? Either the column may not be included in the analysis, or if it is included, you have to convert that into some kind of number. Okay, so keep that in mind. But before that, let's talk about all the numeric columns. We have 33 columns. Out of these, how many are numeric? Okay, so we use, let's say, I'm going to say, numeric val df. Okay, so this is equal to df, or in our case, hotel.df dot select. Okay, now it is how we do subset of the entire data set. Okay, so our intention here is to select or filter numeric columns. Okay, so numeric columns is data type, right? So select data types. This is the function df dot, okay, select data types. Okay, now we will pass the okay, the what you want to include. Okay, so I want to include equal to. Okay, and that include is given as list.
Okay.
So if you have to include more than one data type, okay, you can mention here. But here I just need, okay, NumPy. Okay, so I want to use NumPy as NP, and to tell that I want to put numeric values, I'll say NP dot, okay, NP dot okay, NP dot number. So when I do that, it will only filter the, okay.
Yeah.
Now if I run it, so how many rows do you expect? Will it have any impact on the number of rows?
No, sir.
How many do you expect?
Less than 33, obviously.
Less than 33, obviously.
Yes, sir.
But we don't know how many exactly, right?
Yes.
Manually count or run this function.
21 columns.
Created another data frame called numerical val data frame, and it has 21
columns.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I want to see the columns. Okay. So I'm going to say numeric columns. Okay, numeric column equal to your data frame. Okay, which is okay, numerical data frame dot columns. Okay, then dot values. And you want to print, you can say
Numeric columns.
numeric columns in hotel DF, right?
Yes, sir.
DF is okay, numeric columns. Okay, now you get the list of columns which are numeric. So these are the columns which are numeric. 21 columns.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
right till here, everyone get it working, and then next line is to get non-numeric
Numerical.
values, right? Get non-values. So here you only have to, instead of include, say exclude.
Okay.
That means you're excluding numeric, excluding
Yes, sir.
number. If you exclude number, others will be non-number only, correct?
Yeah.
So yes, please do this so far. I'll take a water break and I come back.
Yes, sir.
I'll put this in the chat also.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you get non-numeric values?
Simply in place of include, we need to exclude np dot number.
Right. So I'm going to call it as non-numeric columns. Correct. Oops, sorry. This is DF only, right? Okay. So when you run it, you get. Okay. So we have 12 columns for this is non-numeric, right?
Sir, I got a
You got error.
yes.
So you need to fix it. Tell me, what's the error?
Print total rows is equal to data shape 0. That one. So
That one? How do I know what that one? Yeah. Tell me what's the error.
it's total rows.
You got total rows.
Yes, sir. When I type a total rows, data shape is not defined.
Data shape is not defined. Data shape is not defined. Did you do on data frame or on the columns?
I mean,
data frame here.
no, it's
Data
I
frame
mean,
dot columns.
I'm in the starting. I am in the starting.
You're in the starting. Karthik
Yes.
is sleeping.
Yeah.
This is not a function. This is just a variable.
Okay, sir.
Correct?
Yes.
No, did you get it?